This movie is incredible and unique. And I want to ask, playing a character like this, is it hard to have empathy or find the empathy and create something sympathetic in somebody who has such sort of a dark role or connects to some darker parts of ourselves?
I mean, empathy is hard straight up all the time. It's just hard to be empathetic. So, but it's my job. So I feel it benefits me to explore the viewpoints and the journeys of people that are not myself. That's why I got into this business, I guess. And it's helpful to try and see their point of view, and to understand them. Because I've spent, a long time ever since I was a teenager, being upset about the environment and what we're doing to it, what we're ultimately doing to ourselves, really, because the Earth will survive. We're the ones that'll be gone. But yeah. So I've had my my fury about all that. I've been carrying around, and despite how angry I've been about it, it still happens, and the people are still there doing what they do. So I thought it was an interesting opportunity to say, well, wait a minute, what's it like from their side of it? What
Yeah.
are they thinking?
And
It's
I
that's the way forward for all of us, is to try and understand each other.
and there's something there's a bit of the movie holds a mirror up a little bit to how we look another way, just accept, maybe write our own lies about why it's okay. And I'm curious, you've made a lot of movies, you're going to make some more, I think, that are historically based. You have Eric LaRue, which you directed, and that also like addresses some of the hardest things that we just can't seem to like we just keep doing this stuff over and over again, like.
Yeah.
And you talk about the rage that you've dealt with in the past against these things, but like you're using the work to express or try to connect, and that's what's great about this movie and a lot of your work. And I guess I want to hear more just kind of from your perspective about doing that and about channeling it into the projects you take on.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, the name of the game is evolution. I want to evolve as a human being. I want to participate in other people's evolution to the extent I can. I don't want to sound arrogant or presumptuous. I'm not some sort of mystical person or anything, but for me, it's about unity. It's like trying to unify people and trying to share experiences and um that's really what I'm looking for in my work. It's not everything that I do. I do some silly stuff sometimes too. I just did like a commercial the other day, which I swore I would never do, and I did it. Um, but but by and large, yeah, I guess I'm at the point in my career where I'm not so worried about whether think people think I'm, the bee's knees or whatever. I'm really just kind of trying to tell stories that mean something to me.
Yeah.
I think there's so much content out there, and so much of it, people are always asking me, have you seen this show or that show or this thing or that thing? And by and large, my answer is no, because I'm just not. I can't see the point in it. I don't want to sit around watching TV unless I feel like I'm learning something, and
Yeah,
that's
what draws you as an audience? And does that also dictate what draws you as a creative? Those what kinds of things you say sort of message sometimes, but sometimes silly things too, right?
for as an artist. Well, yeah, I mean, I do have a sense of humor. I'm not a humorless person, but and uh, if something tickles my funny bone, I'll jump on board. But yeah, what attracts me, I don't know. It's a lot of times, honestly, I'm looking at older films. I go to Film Forum a lot, and I see like I went and saw this Antonioni movie the other night, Il Greedo, or they had a absolutely incredible documentary called Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat that
Yeah.
I think like everyone on earth should watch. The filmmaker on that is just bonkers. He's such a genius.
I'm not
And
familiar with that movie.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like I've
but
seen like
yeah, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. I hope it
yeah.
winds up, it was at Film Forum, so I don't know if it's going to be at the AMC, probably not, but hopefully you see it a streamer or something. Um, I've seen some of the films that are, I guess, quote unquote, in the mix. I've seen, and I was really struck by Amelia Perez. I thought that was just such a beautiful movie. Really, really moved me, and I think that's a really good example of what I'm talking about. Is a film that really encourages empathy and understanding, and looking at things from points of view that you're not familiar with already. And that film definitely falls in that category. And
Yeah, and there is
I thought Conclave was just a masterpiece. Again, Ed Berger, I'd love to work with him someday. He's just really a really phenomenal director.
I want to go back a little bit just to the end because it is timed. I mean, it would have been timed perfectly no matter what. It's so appropriate to right now, but even more so with some recent events. And
Mhm.
it feels like we are kind of like the end feels like it's the actual end. Like, all right, it feels like it's around us a lot with the climate, with everything. Do you think people can be reached this way? Do you like, I mean, I certainly hope so. Like I'll just but like do you feel that that we can change hearts and minds, that it's like that there's hope? I guess. I talked to John
Um,
about this too, so I'm curious what you
I think there's always hope because everything can change in the blink of an eye, like if people are willing, and people have epiphanies all the time. They wake up one morning and say, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. And I'm reading this really interesting book called Falling Upward, which is about how your life can be more than just one trajectory, that you can get to a point in your life. Usually it's accompanied by some sort of crisis where you have this awakening, and you change, and your values might change, your way of being in the world might change. You might become more focused on helping other people. I think a lot of the unfortunate things that we have to deal with come into being because people are, really focused on themselves and focused on their own comfort and convenience, and they're not citizens of the world per se. I mean, if
it
we were all citizens of the world, and really genuinely cared about all our brothers and sisters and whatnot, um, and there's some island in the ocean that's disappearing because of climate change, we'd all be like, oh, well, that can't happen. We need to do something about that. And I want to do everything in my power to help lead people towards that point of view, and that involves hope. And I don't think hope is silly, and I don't think it's dead. And I will continue hoping until I don't have the capacity to feel anything anymore.
well, it's nice to hear. I got to wrap and I appreciate it. I love the work you do and your focus on trying to bring these kinds of things to life. It's very welcome in this world. So thank you.
Thank you, George.